gas for the last time before we're heading up to deer camp. It's a place I hunted last year. Unfortunately, missed the biggest buck of my life, so I'm very much anxious to get back up there and see if we can make it happen this year. We're just getting the last bit of gas and should get up there and have a little bit of scouting tonight and then start making it happen tomorrow. We have the last 5 days of the season. Tell me that doesn't look like mule deer country, just open sage flats, rolling hills and draws with aspens and plum thickets. Home sweet home for the next 5 days. Down the hill and relax for a little bit. So
Are you?
See you guys in a
All right,
bit.
definitely.
Right. Let's go see if we can spot some big deer. Property's not a huge property, it's 1,000 acres or less, but it hunts really big. Lots of vertical, lots of this. That face up there is out like this, and it's really steep. And there's just tons of little draws, stuff where deer can hide on you so easily. Scouting on this first evening brought me back to the hunt I had here a year ago. It was a bittersweet sense of anticipation as I missed an absolute giant of a deer, but was excited to hunt here again. We looked for the buck for a few hours the first night and all of the next day. The good news is that I saw him 3 more times and doing very well. I'm determined for some redemption and getting a buck this year. So I just shot 3 shots. First one was here. Second one I could feel me pulling off the shot, so it was up here. Second one, or the third one, was right next to that first one. So take the human error out. It's a good shot. Even that's a dead deer at 120 yards. So I feel good about it. As long as I can stay down on the sticks. It's not a bad group. The other one probably would have been right there. But nonetheless, those 2, good solid rest, give me a lot of confidence. necessarily going to hold out for something as big as him, and that'd be great, but just a good, respectable, mature mule deer. Just saw two bodies. One's a doe for sure. The wind's good. It's sucking down like it should this time of day. Spot last year. See a fair amount, catch some movement through the trees. You can see that far hillside again, Aspen, where we just came up. A lot of deer filter up through there. Thermals are shifting with that sun hitting this hillside. Which is great now that we've made it up a little higher. Go and try to find a good vantage point. There's cattle in here. There's a fair number of deer that typically work up through here to the dark timber. Still around feeding in these aspens. Just over this little rise, I think we'll find a spot. Hunting. Wrong place, wrong time, maybe. Plenty of deer around. Tomorrow's another day. Today got a little warm. It happens a lot around here right before a front moves, and it seems like the nicest day of the week is the one right before the storm. Call it a night early and do it all again tomorrow. This segment is brought to you by Siberian Coolers. Be the alpha. Own the alpha. This segment is brought to you by Outdoor Edge, makers of the highest quality processing sets to do it yourself and save. Well, we're up here pretty early this morning. It's just getting light enough to shoot. Last year, I was working my way across that pasture over there. A big buck was working up through this bottom. Tried to put a move on him, but it was so open, and he saw us or heard us. Took off up the hill. So no guarantees, but I know the deer like moving up through this bottom, so got here early. Hopefully we'll see some things coming this morning. Hopefully bump into a bunch of deer. You know, they're kind of active. We just haven't been in the right place to see a bunch of them, but we know there are a lot of deer around. We just gotta get into them. Hopefully intercept one. These older aspen patches are awesome because if you came up over here and something was bedded or out feeding, you got plenty of shooting lanes.
This segment is brought to you by Fox Pro and their new Buck Pro electronic deer call.
He's a good 4x4. They're moving up in that swale. Let's move up a little bit. There's a buck. He's a good solid buck. I'm gonna take him. Okay, he's broadside. I'm gonna take him. first light. Brought the buggy up here. Saw 2 does out in the field. As we slowly worked up, there's just enough ventilation. I thought there were 3 deer. There were like 6 and a lesser buck and the big buck. Made up for the hunting experience, and man, it's been tough. But they can show up at any time, and getting up here at first light a little bit higher. We can go down low in the fields and wait for the movement to come up, but they were already up in this field. That was awesome. Thank you. He actually went and raked that shrub a little bit. And then he worked his way up, so he should just be to the right of this little shrub. Awesome. It's actually a 3x4. He's by far the best buck we've seen. And I certainly know there's bigger bucks around, but second season is tough. Hasn't been much weather, a lot of bucks are up high. I am tickled to death. I've used this blade before, so I'm going to start with a fresh blade. These razor blades make it so nice and easy. Protective sheath on the sharp side. Slide it up in there, clicks in. Brand new sharp blade ready to go. I've never been able to do this before, but I'm going to bring the whole deer in here and hang it up for at least a week, if not 10 days. Then I'll be able to take it to the processor. I'll do my own ground and backstraps and tenderloins to take it to him for all the specialty stuff.